Zoroark changed competitive Pokemon forever. Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaimMD here. Today I'm talking about Zoroark and how it changed competitive Pokemon, and more so into team preview, which is what I'll be getting into itself. Because before Zoroark was a Pokemon, before Gen 5 came out, we did not have team preview. But in order to understand, the changes between team preview, I got to give you a little bit of history on this Pokemon that we know as Zoroark, or Zoroark as some people say. So, Game Freak, Pokemon, whoever was designing these back in the day, we're going to travel back in time a little bit. Basically, they were talking about these Pokemon, and somebody said, hey, I want to create a Pokemon that can look like other Pokemon. And the person replied to them, you mean Ditto? It's like, no. Ditto transforms completely into the other Pokemon, having their moveset and their stats. This Pokemon, I want it to be an illusion. I want it to only look like the other Pokemon, but retain its own move pool and stats. And then, the guy was like, oh, that's pretty cool because, we can go with the whole black and white end theme and that, like, maybe you're not always what you seem like. And then the guy was like, no, yeah, cool. I just wanted it to be cool. So, this is where Zoroark comes out. So they're playtesting these, right? And this is, again, before team preview is made. They're playtesting these, and the opponent has a Sigilyph out, because remember, this is Gen 5, so it's Sigilyph. It was only Gen 5 Pokemon in the original Gen 5. They have Sigilyph out, and the person who is playtesting Zoroark has Conkeldurr, or so it seems. And then they get smacked. The Sigilyph gets smacked by a Sucker Punch and goes down instantly. And the dude was like, whoa. When did we give Rapushin, because, it's the Japanese name. When did we give Rapushin Sucker Punch? It's like, no, man, this is Zoroark. And the dude was like, yo, this is awesome, but this is OP. This is too broken. You could be any Pokemon you want, and how am I supposed to know? And don't worry, guys, I swear, next week, we're talking about the Tims. We're talking about the heavy-duty boots. But this week, I had to talk about Zoroark, because team preview is way too much. So, this is going into exactly what I was talking about. This is where they were like, maybe because we've made this Pokemon, and we've included it as such an... it's such a big part of Pokemon Black and White, because N has Zorora, that we should make it that people can see what we have, and thus Team Preview was born. Now, I paraphrased the hell out of that, but that's basically what happened, alright? Just trust me on that. You want to know my sources? I'm sorry, I can't disclose my sources. But, so, we're going to be talking about Team Preview and how Zoroark really changed it and how the game was like before it. So, as you can see, like, imagine a metagame where you cannot see what Pokemon your opponent have and you have to play. And that's basically every metagame before Generation 5. Let me just shift this real quick so we can get the hell on out of there. Hold this control and get on out of there. And of course, if you guys do enjoy these videos, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. This is going to be more of a shorter one compared to the others because it's less of a rant and more I want to prove a point, and more so I'm just showing something that I think is really cool. Like the fact that that Pokemon right there changed Pokemon as far as we know it. So, this is Zoroark. You guys know 105 speed, 120 special attack, and 105 attack. And it's a dark type. It's a pure dark type. And the situation I showed where Conkeldurr was out, which was, actually Zoroark just looking like a Conkeldurr, and the opponent had a Sigilyph, and they thought they were safe to go for Psychic and knock it out and just got bopped. It's just one situation where Zoroark can actually work. And even when you see that they have Zoroark, obviously this is something you just have to keep in mind. But let's go back a generation before Generation 5, and that is Generation 4. So right here we have a tournament game of me versus Honor. This is a couple of years back. I really like this game because it's in my favorite generation to play competitively, which is Gen 4, and obviously we have the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes coming out. So in this generation, you could not see your opponent's team at Team Preview. As you can see, this is Preview. Preview has not even happened yet, and I have no Pokemon out. My opponent has no Pokemon out. This is where leads were necessary. And obviously in a Pokemon game like what we have now, leads are important. Oh, that's a Gen 4 random battle. I did not mean to click on that. Let's just go to OU and just click on a random game. As you can see, this is a normal preview where you can see exactly what they have, and I see what I have, and I can decide, hey, I'm going to lead off with my Oblivious Mamoswine because it beats 4 out of 6 of my opponent's Pokemon, and I have defensive position versus XYZ. Obviously, they didn't do that, but that's just something I saw immediately. So, and that would have happened to Mamoswine, by the way, but at least he got up rocks. But anyway, In Gen 4 and prior, we did not have these team previews. And it was honestly okay that we didn't have team preview, and I'll go into that in just a little bit. But let's get into this game real quick. So as you can see, we had leads. I have a Flygon, they have a Jirachi. Now Jirachi lead, and this is coming from my knowledge of DBP. Jirachi lead can be a whole lot of things. It can be Shuka Berry, it can be Aka Berry, it can be Choice Scarf with Ice Punch. It can also be just a Leftovers Body Slam set, a Stealth Rock lead set, a 3-attack special set with Stealth Rock and some sort of Expert Belt or anything like that, or Lumberry, and the list goes on and on. But because I have Flygon, a Pokemon that is designed for momentum, it goes for U-turn and everything. And I'm not going through the entire battle, don't worry, this isn't just a battle replay. I just want to show you a few things and how Team Preview makes a difference. So I U-turn here because it's not safe to Earthquake, and they switch out because if I choice ban Flygon, Jirachi can die. So that's what the thought process is. So they're not going to risk Earthquake more, and by them hard switching, it also means that they don't have most likely something to hit me. So I go for U-turn, I get a crit on Bronzong coming in, and I bring out Dragonite. Now, I only see 2 Pokemon from my opponent's team. Both of them are Steel types. If Dragonite comes in on Bronzong, voluntarily, it is screaming that I'm going to be going for Fire Blast. I have seen absolutely nothing about my opponent's team. However, when you play games like this and generations like this, you have to assume, team composition. By team composition, it's what the team is made out of. So you have Bronzong, which seems to be the Dragon Check, right? This is probably a Stealth Rocker, or this can be offensive Trick Room if it wants to. Basically, it's supposed to come in on Earthquake, which is why they switched from Jirachi to that. Now, by understanding basic, team composition, and this is how a lot to do with my experience in Diamond and Pearl, and again, we're going to get into why this doesn't matter as much now. Because of Zoroark, I can infer, and I'm really trying to pick my words correctly, that way you guys understand. I can deduce, I can infer that they probably have something that can take a fire move, like a water type Pokemon, like a Starmie, like a Gyarados, like a Suicune. So instead of going for, and this is turn 2, remember this is turn 2, instead of going for Fire Blast, which should easily knock out Bronzong, and because I know they need Bronzong for Flygon, I click Draco Meteor, turn 2, anticipating something to come out that could take a fire move, and I get the KO on Starmie. So that is just one example of a situation where me not knowing their team, but me using logic and experience to make a move. And this is not something that we have to do as much just based on guessing. We can do this now based on the information we're given. So this is Gen 4, Gen 3, Gen 2, Gen 1, no team preview. It's basically always like this. As you get lower or earlier in the generation, some of them are a little bit bulkier, like Gen 2, so you don't necessarily have to predict, whereas you can wait and see the opponent's team and then keep going from there. But I use my knowledge and my experience in the game to make that play, and it ended up working out. If you guys, I'll keep the rest of the replay going but I basically won this game as well, because Dragonite just did too much information, did too much, like here as well. Instead of Focus Blast, I just exploded, blah, blah, blah. I ended up winning the game with my Lucario. So, which he didn't even know I had late game Lucario. Now, imagine a situation where one of these mons was Zoroark, and my opponent, my Zoroark looks like Lucario, so they had Tyranitar, and they switched to Starmie, and I go for Dark Pulse. Right? So just imagine a situation where Zoroark is out and he just gets free kills like that. And that's exactly what happens. So as Generation 5 and 6 came out, and as we keep going higher, there's this thing called Power Creep, and Power Creep just went up and up. Basically, Pokemon started being way more powerful, and Pokemon started being way bulkier as well. Imagine a generation where you cannot have, there's no team preview, and your opponent has a Kartana in the back. And they're just able to sweep you at the end because of its high speed tier and its high attack, its beast boost, and its choice scarf. So you're winning the game, right? You're up maybe 5-1, and Kartana's just in the back. You have no idea it's there, and then it just clicks Leaf Blade and sweeps because your team has been, completely worn down. So that is just an example of what it would be like without team preview. So I'm very grateful for Zoroark, because without that, that's exactly how it would be. And now, when we play a game, I can look at this, I can pause it, and we are both, me and my opponent, so let's just say I'm this person and the other person is legendary or whatever, all right? We both have equal information when starting the game. They see all 6 of my Pokemon, I see all 6 of their Pokemon, and we can figure out what actually puts in work, right? Automatically, looking at their team, you can know that Rotom is going to be annoying because it deals with 1, 2, and 3, and 4 if it's Will-O-Wisp, and can just Volt Switch and do that into strong Pokemon like Victini, which are very tough for the opponent to deal with because their answers are Slowking, which leads more towards special defensive than its other, its cousin, Slowbro. Or, well, not cousin, but whatever, brother, whatever you want to call it. And Landers, which doesn't like V-Create as well. And there's just multiple opportunities to V-Create. The fastest Pokemon is Koko, and Koko is probably the biggest threat to this person's team as well because their ground type is Nidoking, which doesn't appreciate Koko's hits too much, especially repeated Dazzling Gleams and U-turns. So it is a blessing to be able to have this because now instead of the person that has the most experience, the person that has played enough always has an advantage. And that's kind of how DPP is because you'll play in a way where you'll preserve, a good player in DPP will play in a way where they'll preserve a specific Pokemon or pick up on patterns where, all right, this opponent is really trying to sack something to, like they Mach Punch my Starmie, so maybe they have a Dragon Dance Dragonite in the back that can extreme speed sweep me, so why the hell else would you stay in with Infernape type of thing? So now we're both able to have the same information, and I'm not saying that the better player won't win. In a perfect world, the better player will always win, but of course Pokemon has multiple things. It has hacks, and it also has moves that are objectively right and objectively wrong, and there's also moves that it's really hard to say that this is objectively right or objectively wrong because you don't have enough information. But now we're on equal terms, and this is so important because power creep has gone out so much. Like, imagine a freaking Tapu Lele. I talked about Kartana in Gen 4, but imagine a Tapu Lele in Gen 5. First off, Dragons were at their peak in Gen 4 and 5, right? Dragons were at their peak in Gen 4 and 5. And in Gen 5 specifically, which is why they made Fairy types in Gen 6. Just imagine that Pokemon. Or imagine just a Specs Tapu Lele or any type of setup in the back without Team Preview. Pokemon has just become way too strong. Pokemon have become way too powerful to the point that we'd be able, like, it'd be unfair. It would not be fun if every generation was like Gen 4 and down, where there was no Team Preview. So, it is crazy to think that Zoroark absolutely changed Pokemon forever. Because without that Pokemon, we most likely wouldn't have Team Preview. I am so glad they came up with that idea. Now, I'm not saying that maybe eventually we would have a Team Preview, but who knows, right? It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to start showing you, both hands and everything. Sometimes you just got to keep your stuff. But obviously Yu-Gi-Oh! Is different. There's just 6 pieces versus, 40 or something like that in your side deck and all that stuff as well. Again, this is more of a shorter explanation, but I wanted to know your thoughts. And I just wanted to bring something that I thought was really cool. Because when I sat down and thought about it, it just sounded so cool, right? So again, this is a lot shorter of a talk. And we'll be doing the heavy-duty boots talk next week. But thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. That Zoroark talk in the beginning, it wasn't exactly like that, but I'm fairly confident that is how it went down. In fact, I'll even give you another example. When they made Garchomp in Gen 4, Garchomp was more than likely slower than Salamence when it came out, right? And then someone was battling and playtesting, because in Gen 4, I believe they were playtesting for competitive, and the Salamence outsped a Garchomp and knocked it out with Outrager Draco Meteor, and they were like, nah, no, you're not going to outspeed, this pseudo is not going to outspeed my pseudo legendary. And they ended up making it like a base point faster, right? That 101 versus base 100. So it's really cool to think about these little things that more than likely happen, right? And even when we talk about heavy duty boots, just to give you like a little, spoiler to what I'll be talking about, but why would we get heavy duty boots if the main thing about Pokemon Sword and Shield, at least competitive, is doubles? It's such interesting things to think about. But that's basically all I have for you guys today. I guess I'll watch this battle and see how it goes to the end. Are you serious? That is so anticlimactic. This is gonna be a fun game, bro. This dude saw a preview and was like, "Huh, I lost." What a great ending. But thank you everyone for watching. Have a great one. Subscribe. Tomorrow I have an awesome collab with Blunder, and then Sunday will be the Johto to the top Whitney episode, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, that's it. Subscribe if you liked it. Later, guys.